Okay, so I just got out of my third screening for Doctor Strange. It was a IMAX 3D screening. This is the second time I've seen this movie in 3D in theaters, which, as bizarre as this sounds, I feel like watching the movie in 3D is actually better than watching the movie in 2D, because there's so many fractals, there's so much debris, there's so many things shattering and breaking apart, whether it be light or energy or strings of energy just like crisscrossing, exploding, all bombastic all over the screen. Imagery wise, like it was really nice to see each character, or like, you know, each explosion sort of in its own 3D space, you know. The 3D really works for Doctor Strange. I don't think 3D is sensible for something as boring as Eternals or the last Spider-Man movie. I'm so sorry. I did like the last Spider-Man movie, but I don't love it like seemingly most of the internet does. Anyways, John Watts puts me to sleep. Any hoozle. Speaking of John Watts, he's no longer doing Fantastic Four, right? Fuck me. The Illuminati scene, dog. Holy shit, let's go there. The Illuminati scene. I love this movie. Okay, I feel like I've already established that. I'm going to keep going, but I just want to reiterate. I love this movie. It's a 9 out of 10. I love it. So much fun. Anyways, the Illuminati scene was pure madness, okay? You know what? It wasn't until the Illuminati scene, or right around there, where I was like, you know what? What was it? Scott Derrickson, he was supposed to do Doctor Strange. And it seemed like his vision was going to be quite compelling for the sequel. But I gotta tell you, Sam Raimi directing this Doctor Strange sequel, it seems God-sent, especially when you consider, you know, when I went to see this movie, like, I forgot about the trailers. I didn't do a lot of digging into rumors and leaks. I had heard about the Reed Richards thing, you know, with John Krasinski. I had heard about this superior Iron Man, or this alternate reality Iron Man that was supposed to be played by Tom Cruise. The Tom Cruise thing did not happen, which is astounding to me. I really thought the Tom Cruise thing was going to happen. I think I made a bet that I need to, in regards to that. Anyway, I'm surprised the Tom Cruise thing did not happen, but seeing John Krasinski as, like, Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, like when the camera is panning sideways and someone else is speaking, they're like narrating, and they're like, I think it's maybe Chiwetel is speaking, I can't remember, but he's like, and here, the smartest man in the world. You know, remember Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four. Like, every time I see that part, it gets to me, because I love the Fantastic Four. And every single time when bearded John Krasinski comes on screen, like, the crowd goes nuts every time. It's great. But the whole reveal is fantastic. I mean, seeing Black Bolt is fun. Okay, yeah, so I think it's Captain Britain. That's what Haley Atwell is playing. Seeing her was cool. It might have only, for some reason, like, I kind of wish Haley Atwell, the way that she looked in the suit, you know, with the shield, like, in the series What If, she was like this big, giant woman because of that super serum or whatever. And I was hoping that same effect was going to happen with Haley Atwell. Because you imagine Haley Atwell as like this She-Hulk-ish type character, or type of physical figure, you know what I'm saying? Could you imagine just giant, fucking thick Haley Atwell, you know what I'm saying? That I just would have preferred that. But anyway. But yeah, I kind of wish she sort of had that super soldier, she's 3-5 times her size look to her. Like in What If, I think that would have been cooler personally. Well, kind of like how Chris Evans went from being skinny to like super jacked, you know? I wish she sort of got like a similar thing, like super jacked. It kind of just looked like regular Haley Atwell, just a regular body and just a normal kind of blasé Captain Britain suit, but that was just me. That one black chick that was in James Bond, I can't remember her name, but she was playing Captain Marvel. I hated her acting in this movie. I'm so sorry. I hated her acting in this movie. I feel like she was trying way too hard. She was way too over the top. There's one sequence where she's screaming in Scarlet Witch's face, and she's like, "Get out of my universe!" Yeah, it was pretty cheesy. I mean, there's definitely cheesy dialogue throughout this film, but luckily a lot of it is intentional cheese, like can be found in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films. But there are some moments of dialogue that are just a little bit too cringy, just like that. For example, the remarkable action opener, like the first frame is just like us looking out at this fucking bizarro cloud. Things are floating around. Gravity isn't working. Type of magical world. It's real psychedelic looking. Very bizarre. Reminds me of that one painting with the melting clocks. You know, it's kind of like that environment on steroids. And America Chavez and this alt universe. This other different Doctor Strange. They're like running like across this bridge. There's this monster crashing, smashing after them. It's just fucking nuts. This movie is like being on a roller coaster, but in a good way. Shout out to Martin Scorsese. But oh yeah, there was one like that whole opener. And then, like, it shoots to this, like, really disorienting spinning shot of Doctor Strange waking up. And we're led to believe that the first opening minutes were simply a bad dream. Okay, well, the moment where America Chavez, she's, like the creature is on her. And, like, Doctor Strange, he has the creature contained, but in order to go further, he's going to have to take her power, but it would kill American Chavez. And there's a moment where Doctor Strange is talking to her, and he's just like, listen. He literally says something equivalent to, listen, I know what I'm doing is wrong, but your sacrifice will be nothing in the greater schemes of the laws of the multiverse. It's just like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Just like the line delivery there did not work. Like, there's too many like bubblegum colors going around and psychotic CGI and too many fast-paced things that would be going on for such melodrama to be coming forward. Like, I don't know. There's moments like that. There's probably a couple other moments where it was just like, Like, I think Rachel McAdams, one time, she goes, like, go back to hell, before she, like, shoots at some, like, flying, soul-eating demons. Like, yeah, there's some moments fleetingly where dialogue's a little bit too cheesy, but doesn't bother me. Intentional Sam Raimi cheese, at least in this film, it's just a great fucking time. So yeah, back to the Illuminati sequence. Holy fucking shit. We got Reed Richards, we got Black Bolt, we got Captain Britain, you know, Captain Marvel. Oh yeah! And then when we hear the X-Men song play, as we see Professor Xavier enter, like, come on. So fucking dope. By the way, quick nitpick. Oh yeah, with Reed Richards. So I love the Fantastic Four. And for me, like, Reed Richards, he's supposed to be the smartest motherfucker, like, on the planet. And I wish we saw a taste of that. And the fact that we did not was just a little bit awkward. It's also a little bit awkward that, I don't know, we kind of see Reed Richards Fantastic Four, and we mostly just get a, exposition dump from him, and then he dies. I mean, him dying, like, that part was fine, but it's just like leading up to that, I just wish we got more. Especially if John Krasinski is not going to be Reed Richards, moving forward. Scarlet Witch slaughtering them was fantastic, and this movie really made me rethink, like, the PG-13 rating. Like, Jesus Christ, how far can we push this shit? Okay, because the death of Black Bolt, where she, like, smooths over his mouth, and then he goes to speak and he blows his own brains out. I would have never thought to kill Black Bolt that way, but that was insane. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Every single time that's happened, the crowd's been like, what? It's just, Reed Richards getting spaghettified. Captain Marvel getting manhandled. Fucking Captain Britain getting sliced in half by her own shield. Like, what the fuck? By the way, it was so cheesy when Haley Atwell was like, I could do this all day. Like, come on. It was bad timing. This version of the character hasn't really done anything to deserve such a dramatic moment. Just stop. Strange dream walking into his own corpse was just awesome. Like, this movie is a perfect fusion of Sam Raimi and the MCU, when the MCU is at its best anyways, like in this movie, in my opinion. It was just great, man. I just thought that was great. I either I completely forgot, or I didn't know. I had no idea that Scarlet Witch was going to be the main villain in this movie, so that was wonderful. Like, I love, like, these quiet, emotional moments, The MCU is not the best at handling emotional moments, or just, like, two human beings talking in that room. But, at the wedding, at the beginning of the film, for Rachel McAdams, I thought the quietly emotional stuff was fantastic. And it's fantastic throughout the film, but, like, at the church sequence, like, the way that the camera is capturing Doctor Strange at this wedding, and he's talking to this man, and it's like, whoa, him and this guy are talking. The guy's talking about, like, how he was affected by the blimp or whatever, the Thanos snap. And he's talking about how he, like, lost his cats and, like, his brother. Like Benedict Cumberbatch, I was like, damn. It, like, for once, he doesn't seem to be on autopilot. Like, he actually seemed like there was a genuine attempt for Benedict Cumberbatch to be acting. It really felt like he was really acting in this film as Doctor Strange. Like, for once he's not being splattered with fucking CGI or having to save someone in the nick of time. Like, it was just nice seeing him, like, just be human, for lack of a better term, and hold a conversation. Was interesting. And then when that guy is like, the one girl who got away, and Doctor Strange and Rachel McAdams meet up, I like this thing that they riff off of a lot in the film. Is like that concept of the one who got away, the one that you thought you were meant to be with, but it wasn't meant to be romantically. Like, everyone can relate to that, and every time, Rachel McAdams and Benedict interact, they play into that. And it's a very relatable thing. It was interesting to me. It spoke to me. I dug it. I thought the chemistry between Rachel and Benedict was great. That sort of, we've moved on, but they're still longing for each other. I thought that stuff was great. Worked well for me emotionally. The moment where, Doctor Strange shows up and Scarlet Witch are talking here, and he catches her in a lie, and she's like, oh, I wasn't supposed to know her name, right? And Doctor Strange is like, yeah. Like, that whole conversation between Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange was fantastic. I love this motivation of Scarlet Witch. She's sort of obsessed with her kids, and she'll do anything for them, even be villainous, you know? Dude, there's even a moment where Doctor Strange is like, Wanda, your children, they're not real. You created them with magic. And she was like, yeah, you know, that's what most mothers do. And I was like, that's brilliant. America Chavez, real quick. At first, I thought she was going to be really annoying, but she turned out to be surprisingly endearing and cute, so it's fine. I feel like I'm going to hate her outside of this film. But in context of this film, this whole little buddy cop routine that she had going with Doctor Strange was actually quite cute. Like towards the end of the film where she's like, hey, what's up? And like Doctor Strange is just like, sup? Like moments like these, I thought they were cute. They color me crazy. Right now, I did a poll recently, and it's really divided. Like, at least with MCU fans and MCU super fans, this movie, people are really divided on it. People seem to be really 50-50 on it. It's like, literally, people either just seem to either love it, or they're just like, it's mid. And there doesn't really seem to be that much middle ground substantially. That seems to be the two camps. People either love it, or people are like, it's kind of mid. But thankfully, I fucking loved it. I loved the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films. I loved the Evil Dead films with Bruce Campbell. My goodness. And I love this movie. Hell, Bruce Campbell shows up for a moment, and he's made to punch himself for 3 weeks, and it's great. The stuff with America Chavez where, like, she uncontrollably is, like, punching her way through different realities and universes was really cool and trippy. The movie is just fucking trippy. I mean, when America Chavez and Doctor Strange, when they are falling through different dimensions, swarming around them second by second, like 1 minute they're falling through a dimension that's like made of some kind of anime or some kind of cartoons, or one moment they're falling through some dimension where everything is the same but it's like made out of paint. Or like a film reel, or like dinosaurs, prehistoric times. It's just insane. Every time we're within this reality from the beginning of the film, it's just so visually stunning. Like, there's even a moment where, like, I guess they've reached the end of a corridor and they open the door, and the doorway's like spinning, and they have to go down towards the book, which is on this weird flower petal-like structure that's like spinning, and with the clouds in the background, and especially seeing this in 3D, it was just so trippy. Just really stunning, the visual effects in this movie. Hell, I think my new favorite image of Doctor Strange, at least MCU-wise, is a moment where he's going to go have a conversation with his alternate self right here in this house, and there's a part where the staircase is like, stretches from like what looks like to be like the ocean or some lake, and the top stretches towards the sky, and him walking up it with like this blood moon in the background. So dope. Come on, guys. There's emotion here. There's good humor here. It's serious, but it doesn't take itself too seriously. The acting is really solid by MCU standards. I thought Elizabeth Olsen was chewing it up, finally being the big baddie Scarlet Witch. There's a couple times, like there was one time specifically where she looked at Doctor Strange and she was like, well, if you don't listen to me, next time I won't be back. Next time, the Scarlet Witch will be back. Okay, there were some times her dialogue was a bit cringe like that. But just fleeting. I thought she killed it as Scarlet Witch. There was one fantastic moment where Scarlet Witch, she's walking through the house with her quote-unquote kids, and reality is distorting around her. And like there's a moment where we see a photograph of Elizabeth Olsen that like comes alive and just like stares at you. Or we see like a moving ocean inside of a cup. Or this weird like Jack Nicholson The Shining moment where Elizabeth Olsen like breaks the fourth wall and she just like stares at you. I love this movie. This movie is full of so much to gush about. There's great action, right? Like when that one sanctuary, like all the students and Wong and Doctor Strange, they're preparing for Scarlet Witch to arrive, and then those clouds move in, and there's this really eerie moment, and Scarlet Witch like attacks. I think it's like a school, right? When he's like, fortify your mind. He's like, fortify your mind. You know, I need that as a soundbite. That's good. Fortify your mind. Where it's America Chavez and it's Doctor Strange versus this big eyeball monster. He kind of looks like that one main character from Monsters Inc. When they're fighting this creature at the beginning of the movie, this fight is so long, and there's so many different levels to this fight visually. Like we're fighting this creature in midair, flying up a building, in the streets, like, and then when Strange rips out its eyeball and just like, severs it and throws it down towards the street, like hearing the crowd in the theater each time actually be like, ugh. It was so good. Like it was like a whole comic splash page actioner. I know that a lot of MCU fans are, again, there's like a 50-50 thing going on. A lot of people seem to be struggling with it. I don't know why. I don't know what that means. That's weird to me. This is the best Marvel movie since Endgame. Like literally since Endgame, movie-wise, the only things that I've fucked with is Shang-Chi and this movie. And to be honest with you, I love this movie so much, they could have just made Endgame and then just skipped to Doctor Strange and deleted anything in between.